So basically what we're going to make is, we'll start with probably, this is a pretty simple one. So we'll start with a transition. So this is a stinger transition that I've done for our, for my samurai themed kind of string graphics, available on creatrixcreative.com. So that was obviously kind of a feudal Japanese theme, lots of reds, blacks and whites. So this is what you call a stinger transition. So it would start with your screen, we'd play the transition, it would close. Now while it's closed, the scene will change, and then it will open again to the new scene. So basically what we need to create is, you can be as creative as you want. You need something that starts with nothing on the screen, and then it fills the screen, and then it disappears, and then obviously the screen change happens while the screen is filled. So you can come up with some more ideas if you want. We're going to follow along this style, which is a really simple style. It's just two moving blocks come together, change the scene, and then we go back. So what we're going to do is camo. So I think we need some camo first, right? I like kind of like the snow camo or urban camo. See what we can find. Yeah, this kind of thing. This is what I like. Obviously, I might make a few different versions of this with different types of camo once we've got it on. I kind of like this kind of colour scheme. So we're going to open up Adobe Illustrator. Now it's important to create vector graphics, which is why we're using Illustrator and not something like Photoshop. This allows us to basically resize our graphics to whatever we want. So if you haven't got Adobe, there are some of the free softwares out that you can find. Basically you want a vector graphics program. Right, so we've got these kind of shapes. I'm not sure if we want, I do actually kind of like the sharp shapes. Do we want a sharp shape? Should we go for a more classic kind of rounded shape? Don't really like this one, it's a little bit too rounded. Oh, a little bit of orange. A little bit of orange maybe. Ooh. Kind of like this, but maybe more simplified. Let's see how it comes out. Alright, so what shapes are we going to go for? Right, we want to start with, I'll put a grey background in. So we're going to sample maybe something like that. Arrange, center back. Right, so now we've got our base colour. So let me go ahead and get the paintbrush tool. Let's go with the black to start with. So I'm gonna maybe go for that shape and see how it looks. So I've drawn my shape, I'm going to join it. As you can see here, there will be a sharp corner. When you join it, just double click it and double click that one, and then it's now smoothed out. So we can zoom back out, turn it around, and then we have kind of like a camo shape there. Right, I'm not sure yet. I do actually kind of like this jagged edge, so maybe we'll go with something like that actually. Yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's go. Right, let's go with this jagged kind of style. So basically I'm just going for that. Yeah, I need it more simplified than that, I think. Probably want to turn off WhatsApp, so I'm not getting these notifications through from Vandal. Okay, so this is like, what have they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are like 4, 5, 6 shaded. So 3 to 6 kind of shape sides. So let's try something like that. So we'll go maybe there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, right, yeah, so we're going to go for the, it's going to be a lot easier as well. Not really got to worry about that. So what colours we got? We've got this light grey, this black, we've got like a really light grey, almost a white. Don't like that. I think that's better. Okay. Okay. It's a new day for me. Okay, yeah, let's get a few more images in then. So do a couple of triangles. I'll duplicate a few of these shapes later because I'm pretty lazy. It's cool. Like that black one. Mix up the sizes of them. Go for that colour. So yeah, so when you're doing your own, obviously you can make whatever shapes you like, experiment, play around a little bit, see how it turns out, change the colours. This is just what I'm kind of feeling at the moment. I'll probably decide tomorrow that I don't like it, but obviously the beauty about Camo is you haven't really got to be very accurate, just make it look a bit weird, I guess. Move that out of the way. Right. Alright, start making a few smaller ones. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe pull this around a little bit. So we can, once you've made our shape, we can also manipulate it using these points. Just get the curvature tool and move them around. As I said before, if you want to make smoother shapes, just double click on the points and that'll smooth it out for you. But I want to keep this jagged kind of shape, so we won't be doing that. Okay, oh, I'm getting bored of this. Yeah, that's key. That's key. Just realised I've got no music on. Let's play some music. Bit of synthwave from Harry's Heller. There we go. Has anyone played Cyberpunk? Of course you have. Split in opinion. I played it again last night. I went back to it. I haven't completed it yet. So I went back to it last night. Man, it's a shit game. It's a shit game. I'm just gonna say it is a shit game. It's not even the bugs. It's not even the bugs that's the problem with it. It's just a terrible game. At its core, it's a really bad game. I was on a mission, right? Basically, you've got to go into this mansion to, yeah, basically kill someone. You've got to kill this tiger claw guy, which is basically like the future version of the Yakuza. It's like the Japanese kind of mafia. Right, so you go in there, and the objective is to kill this person. So you go into this meeting with these guys, And the woman that you've got in there that's supposed to be on your side is saying she wants to basically become the new boss of this. I think it's this nightclub that was part of the agreement between us, which basically is not what we agreed. So obviously this woman's now starting to double cross us. Right, so basically you've got two choices. You either kill everyone, you kill all the Yakuza, and you kill her, or you don't kill him. You make an agreement that she will become the new boss of this place, and everyone's happy. Right, so I tried the first option, I think. No. I killed everyone first, right? And at the end of the mission, there's this person that's your friend, going, "What the hell? What the hell? You killed her? What the hell? You killed her?" And I'm like, "What? Whoa, okay. So I wasn't supposed to kill her." So I thought, okay, I'll restart the game from a save, and I'll just see what happens if you don't kill her. So I did that. So I made the agreement. So the only way you're not killing it is basically making this agreement between them that she's going to be the new boss. I did that, and then after the mission, the woman was like, "You're disgusting. I can't believe you double-crossed me, man. You're an absolute motherfucker." So she's even more pissed off from that. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, so there's just literally no pleasing this woman. Right. So I thought, okay, fuck it. I'll go back to the original one where I basically kill everyone, but I'll just double check that I didn't miss something. I thought maybe I was a bit too aggressive and I spooked it into like attacking me. So I did it again, and I made sure that I didn't attack anyone. I only did it when I was attacked. So basically, this woman comes at you, tries to kill you, so you have literally no option but to kill her, right? I'm like, what the fuck, man? There's literally no way of doing it. So I did it, and I still got the same issue. She's like, what the hell, man? Why did you kill her? You didn't have to kill her. You could have found another way. I was like, literally, how could I have found another way? The woman literally comes at you in a like from like a dialogue option. She comes at you and tries to kill you. So I'm like, what the fuck? This is weird, man. So I googled it and trying to find out what the hell is wrong with this mission. And apparently, the way that you're supposed to handle the mission is you don't kill her. When the woman comes at you and attacks you, you don't kill her. You use a non-lethal weapon. Now, bearing in mind, non-lethal weapons are basically a non-part of this game. So I was reading about it. Apparently, when they first started designing the game, non-lethal weapons were supposed to be like really important in the game. But they obviously, as they did with a load of things, they didn't bother finishing it. So basically, if you're playing the game, you know, non-lethal weapons are basically useless. I don't have a non-lethal weapon. I'm in the middle of a mission. I can't go and get a non-lethal weapon. There's no way of manually knocking her out, so I literally have to kill her. So yeah, I'm so pissed off with this game. It's so shit. Like, people say, oh, yeah, just get rid of the glitches and it'll be fine. The glitches aren't even the problem. I can literally live with the glitches. It is a dog shit game in its core. That's all I can say. It's about, I would say it's literally about 10 years away from being finished. There's so much that they just haven't done on it. So what I'd say is I feel sorry for the people that have actually made it, because obviously there's some really amazing like design things in it, and it's absolutely looks amazing. It's beautiful in my opinion. Like, if you like Cyberpunk, you love the way it looks, and it's just like, it's so frustrating that I literally, as beautiful as it looks, I have zero interest in just going around just enjoying it. Like when Skyrim came out, I literally just walk around just like interacting with stuff, but there's just zero interaction with this game. And Skyrim wasn't an amazing game, but it's a lot better than this. Right, so I've been talking a lot. What I'm doing here is I'm rearranging the layers. So you can do this by doing Control with your square brackets, and you can bring layers up and bring layers down. So obviously we want the kind of bigger ones to be at the back, and we want the smaller ones to kind of be on top. So yeah, let's rearrange them a little bit like that. Put a few smaller ones on top, and then we're gonna start moving towards animation. And I think I've got a good idea as to how. Just join that because I missed it. I'm going to put like a little balaclava in the middle, if that makes sense. Diddle 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 diddle. Going to move that point out a little bit. Okay, now we can see here we've got a problem. We've got a bit of curvature. So if you get this problem with Adobe Illustrator, don't panic. I never used to understand this, but basically you see these points here. When it's got a little circle in a little dot in the middle of the circle, that means it's basically a sharp point. So it's going to go like that. When it hasn't, it's going to be a curved point. And actually, I can see here. I've got little alarms going off. There's 2 points here, both curved, so I'm going to just delete that one. You can see here we've got a ballooned out curve. So yeah, don't panic, just double click on it and it'll go back to a sharp point one. And then we'll do the same with this one, double click it, and then we go, going back to our sharp shape. Obviously vice versa, when I do drawings, usually I would want a smooth kind of line. So if it's gone sharp and you want a smooth line, then yeah, just do that. Right, put it to the back, control brackets, maybe like that actually. That's cute. That's quite a big one, so probably move that back a little bit. Yeah. So obviously you don't really want too much overlapping of these shapes because I can't really tell the difference between them. Maybe even make that a little bit smaller. If you want, you could even just copy and paste a few of these things, rotate them a little bit, make them a bit bigger. I mean, saves a bit of time. I'm going to keep drawing them. Change the colours maybe. So that one's now turned to a black one. Yeah, I'm going to change the colour of that one as well to, no, I'm not actually, I'm going to leave it as it is. Move to the back, move it around. Obviously put a few to the edge as well. I've kind of avoided the edge, which is not a good idea because obviously we want it to look like it's kind of just a pattern and not just like an actual picture. Yeah, change colours if you need, maybe a black one there, change size, just kind of randomize it a little bit. There are ways of randomizing these things yourself as well, which I'm not going to do today because basically I can't remember how to do it. But if I work on this later, I'll probably just Google how to do it later. And you can kind of copy and paste and it'll just put them in random sizes and shapes, which would probably be pretty useful in this situation. But for now, I'm basically done anyway, I can't really be bothered. But yeah, Adobe's Illustrator's pretty cool for this kind of thing. Right, so I think we're just going to leave it kind of there for now. I might play around with this later before I put it on the website. Leave that there. Right, okay. So now we have a full image. Obviously, with what we want to create, what we said is we want to create this kind of animation. So you basically need two halves that go into each other. I'm also thinking actually I want to, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? I want to put like a little emblem in the middle. I should probably save this file before it crashes. I did have a crash on a stream yesterday. Camo background. We'll save it in streamer graphics and we'll call it Camo. cool. Let's let's just group everything together. Right, so we can pretty much just delete these old camos because I got the idea that I wanted from them. Okay, now I did want a little balaclava. Thought that'd be quite cool. Oh, some fucking weird shit coming up there, boys. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? You know what? Fuck it. I feel like maybe putting this on. Alright, let's do a normal balaclava and see how it looks. But I might do one with like, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, okay, right. Okay. Alright, so my initial one was kind of something like this, balaclava thing like this. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe we just go a bit crazy. We make it into a pink kind of kitty, so it's like pink kind of camo-y, Japanese kawaii kind of feel to it. Let's see. Alright, so I'm getting the paintbrush tool here, just kind of going around the outside of it. It's not really important. Just want a kind of basic shape that we're going to work with. This nice thin shillate balaclava. In case you want to go Robin Banks. Of course, we don't recommend Robin Banks here. How the fuck do I can't remember how to fucking unselect something. I can never do it anymore. Should be Alt Shift. There we go, Alt Shift. Okay, so I want that to be black. Let's just, in fact no, let me draw these in. I'm liking these tunes. Right, so when you make a shape, always click join. I've already joined it, and that's why that message comes up. And then usually when you join it, the joining part, which is up here, might be a little bit jagged, so we get these kind of like what you call it ones, the sharp points that I explained earlier. So you might want to undo those. Actually, in this situation, I think it actually looks okay, so I'm going to leave it. But usually when I'm drawing stuff, I would go into that point and have to do it. Like for instance here, let's join this one. This is a smooth shape, so I'll probably, see there? There's usually a bit of mess around the joining part, so just delete the, click on the one that we need. If it's full blue like that, that means it's the one that's the point that's selected. So just delete that one if we need. Double click it. I'm not even sure that's even got any better. Yeah, it is, but it's a bit smoother anyway. So we've got that one there. This one here. Now join. This one's going to be a bit weird because obviously I've not drawn it particularly well. But it literally does not matter. So that one there is the sharp one. We'll double click that one. Now we can see this one's sharp as well. Double click that one, and you can move them around just to smooth it out. Perfect. Let's go down to the mouth, which is there, even though it's hard to see. So we're going to have a problem here because these points are not really matched up. So I'm going to join them, delete that one. See that jagged kind of point there? Double click it, boom, done. Right, so just to let you know kind of how it looks, I'm going to make these kind of white, and then this one we're going to turn black. Right, so now we've got our balaclava. Cool, right? That's cool. Now, as we're doing this, it probably doesn't really matter because we can just do it as an image. But if you wanted to cut these shapes out, so you wanted to have transparent eyes and mouth, because at the moment it's just white, we would basically select them all, go to the Pathfinder tool, and click this one here. Well, I've just messed that one up. I don't know why that's happened. Why has that happened? Let's group them all and move them away from all this shit. Yeah, by the way, coming in and out, you control minus, control plus, like you would do on other applications. Right, I've done something wrong there, so let's do these two, which worked. Let's do this one and this one. Boom, worked. Don't know what happened there, but it's working now. Okay, so I think that looks kind of cool. What the hell? I'm so confused. What's just happened there? What the hell? Yeah. What? Okay, I think I'm not awake at the moment. I don't really understand what's going on. But it's working now. Right, so obviously we can't really see him there, so we'd want some kind of background for him. So maybe we'll try a jagged one, see how that looks. Probably do a white colour one. Put it back a little bit. But actually it looks a bit shit. So might need could put a stroke in it, but that's gonna look wank in my opinion. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put like a little dark overlay. So I'm going to make a black shape. I'm going to change the opacity down to maybe 10, maybe 20, and then I'm going to pull that back just so that one kind of pops out a little bit more. So you can see now everything below this is now just off-white because I've added this kind of black opacity to it. Now guys, remember this is completely from the top of my head. I've got nothing really in mind. It might turn out looking shit, so don't blame me. Just a warning, guys. Right. So we've got a little. Okay, maybe just widen it a little bit, and then it looks look a little bit cooler. Put another point. If we want to add a point to a shape that's already been made, still use this curvature tool. Press it in the middle there, and then you've got a point to move there. Double click it if you want it to be kind of jagged. You can move them around, simple like that. It's easy peasy, right, guys? Now I want to center align this. We go to align, and make sure we select it to artboard. Click middle, boom. Do the same to that. Okay. I'm just going to just see what it looks like if I do like kind of like an outline, which I'm going to do in black. Not quite on, just so it adds to that kind of messy effect that we've got. Should probably save this document soon. I'm terrible at saving documents. I'm sure you're all the same. Right, put it below it. Right, I think that's quite cool. Anyway, we're gonna work with that for now, just so we can start animating soon. Right now, we want this split in half, really, don't we? That's what we need to do. There's what we need to do, guys. Now, there's probably better ways of doing it, but this is literally how I do it. I just use kind of oh shit, it's going to be a bit messy with all these shapes, isn't it? Oh shit. You know what I'm going to do? I might just export this as a JPEG. Yeah, we are going to use Photoshop today because it's going to be messy otherwise. Basically, if you want to cut all these shapes in, if you want to cut one shape with another shape, that's fine. But because I've got all these little shapes behind it, it's going to be a ball ache. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to export this as a JPEG, and then I'm going to cut it in Photoshop just so it's a little bit easier. So file, export for screens. What? File, export. Oh, no, export as, sorry. I'm not awake. Right, use artboards, PNG. What? Let me just check what artboard I've got here. Yeah, I didn't really explain this, guys. Make sure your artboard is the right size. So I'm starting with a 4K resolution. This just allows me to basically scale down to 1080 if we need to, or we can keep it at 4K. So it's usually better to have bigger than smaller. Alright, we're gonna export as yeah, use artboards because we don't want all this mess around the outside. Basically we want just to keep the artboard, keep it trimmed to the artboard. Click export. Now here, high 300 pp. When we want this to be used as a streamer graphic, so it's going to be screen resolution, which is 72 ppi. That's pixels per inch. So basically, if you're exporting anything for print, you would want a high one. Whereas if you're exporting anything to use on your screen, you want to keep it at 72 ppi. And as our board is artboard's been defined with pixels, it should be the right resolution anyway. This will keep the resolution as it is. So we're going to click OK. If I did 300, the file would get huge, bigger than we need. We don't need to bother with that. Alright, so let me go and find this for you. Let me find this for you. Camo. Right, okay, I'm going to open with Photoshop. Let me just save this if I haven't. I can't remember if I have or not. Oh shit, that's what I was going to do. Right, so my other idea was this. Yeah, we'll do two. Right, my other idea was this. I'll just show you what I'm thinking. Something weird and fucked up like this. So we just kind of add a couple of like. Let's just duplicate this layer. So we'll do urban. Duplicate level. Pink. Urban. Rabbit. Right, so what I was thinking was we could do something cool, like add these kind of rabbit ears to this. How do they go on here? Just pull this in. What the hell? Why is this constantly selected? Right. Okay, so let's go shape like that. Just make this fit a bit better. Kind of looks like a knobbird, isn't it? You know what I'm thinking? Maybe we do cat. Might look a bit cuter. That looks fucking weird, doesn't it? I'm sampling the colour here, colour sampler. So if you ever want to get something from an image, then just do that. Obviously, then make sure you sample from the one that you've done before, so you get the exact same shade. That looks like shit, guys. We're gonna kind of do. How does that look? That's like shit as well. Kitty mask. So hopefully nothing weird comes up. Probably will. Oh, what was that one? Black maybe? God, there's some weird shit here, isn't there, guys? Fuck me. Something like that, I'm thinking. Let's just go with this. So, guys, just draw the shape. Yeah. Delete that. Right, okay, that's cool. That's cool. See, look, the subtle differences between the ear shapes do make a difference. So, if you find it just looks a bit weird, maybe just. Well, that just looks a bit weird as well. It's probably the wrong size. Look at that one. Anyway, we're gonna do this for now. Yeah, maybe just try like a slight different shape, basically. And if you're stuck for ideas, just have a look at what other people are doing. That was kind of cute though. I'm thinking that maybe go for that one that I've done there. That looks a bit better. It's all about kind of like just experimenting and shit. Now here, because I've ended the point where I need to use it, I'm going to have to join it and I'm going to have to play around with it because I fucked up, guys. Yeah, sorry. There we go. Anyway, we'll go back to this later, but I'm thinking maybe do that with some kind of like pink, maybe add a bit of pink onto the rest of the background image, but we'll do that later. So back to our original one, urban camo. Alright, now yeah, the easiest way to find the middle is pull on, so we're on Photoshop now, guys. The easiest way to find the middle of the Photoshop document is to use rulers. If you haven't got rulers selected, window, oh no, that's not Windows, Jesus Christ. View rulers, there we go. View rulers or Control R. I don't know many shortcuts, guys, so don't come to me for that. Right, so drag a line to the middle. Sorry, drag a ruler and then slowly bring to around the middle, and you can feel it clip. I believe you do need to have snap selected on your view as well. That like snaps things to each other, which is pretty useful. Right, okay. One thing I'm not happy with is, even though this is center aligned, I don't really kind of like the way it meets in the middle. So I'm going to actually re-export this balaclava. So it is a bit more to the left. Is it the left? No, to the right. Okay, so we need to move. I'm going to move these two as well. Two. And I'm going to just deselect these. Let me export that and see how it looks. File, export. Use artboards. Bam. Replace it, because that one was shit. Alright, put this one back in. See, that's a bit better now. See here, so it's on the mouth hole. Obviously, because the way sometimes you just got to eyeball things. Like, even though that was centered, because of the way I've drawn it, it looked like shit. So you just got to eyeball stuff, basically. So now, because this one goes in the middle of the eye, through the eyes and through the mouth, it's going to look a lot better. Right, now, so best thing to do here, I would say, just make a selection and snap to the middle there. I'm just going to make a new layer via copy. I've got one layer, and do the same on this side. New layer via copy. Now get rid of the background ones, and then I reckon I'll just save this as a PNG. So if you're working with vector graphics like this, you want to save as PNG. It's going to be the most accurate and smallest file size. If you're using photos of things, you want to, or with lots of different colors, you're going to want to use JPEG. The only thing is, if you want a transparent background, you need PNG. You can't create a transparent background with a JPEG. Right, okay guys, I haven't done this way before, by the way, so if anything fucks up, it's not my fault, because I'm learning as I go along. Right, yeah, usually I wouldn't use Photoshop for this, just because the background's so complicated. Right, so Creatrix Creative Camo background left. Save that. Smallest file size, obvs, saving 99%. 99%. Go to 100%, please. What the hell is going wrong? Okay, now we're going to knock out the right side. Same again. Save as. Drop down PNG, and we want right. Okay, save. Boom. Now we got something to work with. Doom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then I'm going to show you something else as well. Right, so After Effects. So this is one that I made earlier. I could just, the easiest thing for me now, because I've already made one, is I'll just import and take over these layers. But we're going to start from scratch. So File, New Project. Is it going to ask me to name it? No, it's not. Composition, New Composition. Right, guys, what? I don't even know what 4K is. Times 2. Alright, so we want that. And what's that times 2? Guys, if you're good at maths and you're a little dweeb and you already know this just by looking at it, then what have I got to say to you? Only joking. Only joking, guys. I'm just joking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right, now frame rate whatever you want, basically. Obviously, the higher your frame rate, the larger your file size. So for me, having a 60 FPS transition isn't really going to make that much difference to your stream. So I would stick to lower than that. What other options? I'll just go 30, I guess. It's not really that important for stream graphics. All these different frame rates. These are more for films. 23.976 for filming and shit like that. It's to do with the frequency of electronics in the country, as far as I'm aware. So you don't get like jittery lights when you're filming stuff. So just stick to whole numbers, 30 and 60 basically. Right, so let's just go 30. Okay. Right, so now we've got our screen here. Boom. Now we need to import some graphics. I'm just going to drag them in, or you can do File, Import. I'm just going to drag them in because I've got them open right here. So I've got 1, 2, and I'm also going to import the original whole image, and I'll show you why in a minute. Right, so got left there, got right there, boom, and then we've got our full background there. Now this is so simple, it's untrue. All you got to do is, but I'll still manage to fuck it up. Right, so you just, as soon as you understand how to use keyframes, you can understand pretty much how to use After Effects. I am by no means an expert. I never took any classes about After Effects, still learn how to use it, but basically all you got to do is just kind of work out how to use keyframes. So a keyframe is basically just telling After Effects to do a certain thing at a certain frame in the transition. So for instance, we're going to be using positional keyframes here. That says position. So here's your layers. Open up the left layer. We're going to start with that one. And if we click here, it's now going to add a keyframe here, which is what this thing is here. Right, so that means, so that's telling After Effects that this is the current timeline, this is the frame that we're on. Zoom in a little bit. Right. So that's telling After Effects that this frame to keep this layer in this position. Obviously we can do scale, rotation, opacity, there's loads of other keyframes that we can get into, but for today all we need to worry about is position. So we add a keyframe there, position. We're actually going to move that in a minute because we want to start the animation with nothing on the screen, don't we? Right? So I'm just going to move that to the right there to use later, and I'll show you why, just so I don't have to type in 1920 by 1080. Right, so I'm going to add another, in fact I don't even need to do that, all I need to do is move this. I'm just going to turn this background layer off just so we can kind of see it moving. Right, so as you can see here, I'm moving this, I don't even know what axis this is. X-axis, is it? The plane goes along and then it goes up, I don't know. Right, so I'm moving this to the left here. Now we want this to go all the way off screen because this is basically how we want to start our animation is with this off screen. So I'm just clicking and dragging it. You could just type in the numbers if you want. So I found here, we want about, what's that? -26, that seems good. Right, so now it's telling After Effects at this point in the animation, at this frame, have this image here. Right, now I've also got a keyframe here that I moved, if you remember this, that says have it there. Right, so all we need is 2 keyframes telling After Effects I want it to start here, and then I want it to move to here, and then between it After Effects will automatically move it across. So as I can see, as I move here, there we go. Oh, there we go. Moved in. Alright, so I'm going to play it with the spacebar and see how it looks. Boom. Maybe a little bit fast. So, to make it a little bit slower, what do you think we need to do? Any questions, class? Anyone got the answer? Yes, Johnny, that's right. You need to move this second keyframe a little bit further along. So that's telling it to have it at this point here. So let's go there. Boom. Right. So we want to do the same for the right side. Open that one up. Transform. Position. So I want it in this position at this frame. That's when it's closed. I want it at the closed position at this frame. Now I just need to work out the value for the open position. So on this one, instead of moving it left, we need to move it right. So just keep moving it. Keep moving it, baby. To about there. Right. So now, boom, done. And we've basically done our transition, guys. We've basically done everything. Easy. Told you it's a piece of piss. Right, boom. All we need to do now is make it open again. So, what do you think we do now? Anyone? Yes, Johnny, you've already answered. Sarah, that's right. You need to reverse these keyframes. So, what we want in our transition is we want to have it shut, and then we want to hold it a little bit, and then open again. I reckon we want usually I go for a 2-second transition. I've got this set up in frames, so I just need to work that out. So we're at 30 FPS, so 2 frames, 2 seconds would be 60. Is that right there? Oh yeah, it's even got it here. It's got 1 minute and thingy on there. So that'll be the end of it. So we want to have it. We want to hold it for a little bit. So to do that, basically we just copy these keyframes here. We could use hold keyframes, but I can't really be bothered to do that. Fuck off. So just copy 1 keyframe at a time, otherwise it copies the layer. Right, so copy this keyframe here. Can you see here? It's in blue. I've copied it. So drag over, Control C. Now you move your little timeline indicator, whatever you want to call it, to where you want to paste the keyframe. Control V, done. Now this one will stay there. Well, actually they both stay there because I haven't added any more keyframes. Let's do that. Right, so let's copy this keyframe, move this along, paste it there. So now we can see that one opens, but it'll hold in between here. See here, between here, because these two are the same values, it'll just hold between them. So that's the easiest way just to get that to work. Now I want to play around with when we want to do it. So we want to add this to, we said here 2 seconds, which is there. So that's when we want to finish the animation. Now what I'm thinking is, let's put these on the 15 mark, so then it's just kind of evens it out a little bit. So we can see here that 15F there. Yours might be in seconds, so you might need to work this out. Not that it's really important, just do whatever you think looks good. But I want to make it a little bit more even. So I've got it on 15, which is a quarter of the way through the animation. That's halfway through the animation. Then put to 15 there, and I'm going to move this keyframe to there. And that's there. Right, I'm just going to shut this off here. Now, as you can see, this runs on a little bit longer than, actually quite a lot longer than 2 seconds. So we want 2 seconds for our transition. You don't want it to be too long. I mean, you can have long ones if you want, but I want to keep this at 2 seconds. So yeah, so I'm going to cut this off here. So to do that, you press N, right click, trim comp to work area. Right. So now let's just adjust these keyframes here. So hopefully that makes sense. So starting position, open, move to close position. So I've got a close keyframe there. Now the left side has then, once you get past here, we've got an open keyframe. So it's saying open to there. Move that to the end. In fact, no, I've done that wrong, haven't I? I don't really understand this. If anyone does know this, why it adds an extra keyframe to the end, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. I don't know. Is that right? I don't know. That looks like it's fucked up as well. Right, we'll leave it like that anyway. I think you need. I don't know if you need to have an extra frame at the end. I always seem to mess up with that. Right. So we now need to add a. Well, I'll show you what happens if you don't have that hold keyframe. So now they've both got the open keyframes, close, and then the open keyframes. But as you can see here, the bottom one is opening earlier because it hasn't been told to hold here. So I want to have this hold keyframe here. So otherwise it opens too early. So I want to have that little hold in the middle. So I'm going to copy that keyframe there, keep it the same value. We're going to paste it in there. So there we go. Boom. Little opening and closing doors. Right, now to make this look a little bit more sexy, I'm going to save this. Fucking hell, I'm shit at saving documents. We don't want feudal Japan, we want Camo. Camo. Alright, save that. Right, okay. So to make this a little bit more sexy, we can ease in and ease out these keyframes. So basically, what would look cool is they're coming fast, and they want to kind of just slow down just before the touch, so they don't bang into each other. So they go like they would see probably on real doors. So to do that, we need to change these keyframes slightly. So we'll highlight these two, right click, keyframe assistant, and we want to use easy ease. You can use ease in and ease out to make things quicker, but we want to have a little bit of control over it. So I'm going to click easy ease on there, and then you can see this graph editor here. So this graph is kind of the speed. This is a speed graph, which you can check. If you don't see that, you might sometimes it looks fucked up like this. And you're like, what the fuck is that? That's because you got on the value graph. You want to click edit speed graph. So basically, to play around with it, we want to drag these little handles here. So it should come in with a higher speed and then slow down, unless I fuck that up, but it should be right. That's a bit too much, but yeah. So you can see the left one is kind of like got a little bit of difference on it. So we come off this graph editor, do the same on that one. I should probably yeah, okay. So we want to kind of match these two up here. So you can see here they're pretty much matched up. So then that should be kind of okay. And maybe they're not okay. Maybe I fucked something up. Right, so I probably should have done this before because now my keyframes are all fucked up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete them. I'm sure there's a better way of making them more even, but I don't know how to do it, so I'm just going to do this. I'll copy that in there. Copy that in there. So I'm basically just doing what I did before, but the new keyframe should be a little bit better. What the fuck are these? Oh fuck's sake, I'm being stupid. No wonder they're fucking different. I'm editing the same fucking side. Okay, right. Right, yeah, that's fine. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is just to make it even. Right, so we need to do the same on the right side. That's why the right side looks different because I haven't edited it yet. Right, I'm just going to delete these ones. I'm just going to add this into there. So make sure if you want to copy a keyframe from a different one down to a different layer, just make sure the layer is selected. So the reason why I'm doing this is just so I make sure the graph is exactly the same. So what I'm going to have to do is, seems like a long-winded way of doing things, and it probably is. But now I just know that the graphs should be the same. All I need to do now is reset the values. So that one's the same, which is fine. So I'm going to copy that one there, paste it in there. We just need to change this opening one here because it's at the wrong side. So position all the way over here, and then the speed graph should be the same then. So I know that sounds a bit complicated, and I might have lost you a little bit, but I'll kind of show you what to do in a minute. What I mean in a minute. So now that one should be the same. I'm going to copy that, paste it here. Okay. Right, so now they should be the same. Yeah, okay. So now they've got that kind of like speed variation. Now, this is what I was saying to you before. What the fuck? No, I have fucked this up. I have fucked this up, you guys. Let me have a look at it. Why have I fucked that up? That looks okay. Did I do that one? I can't see anything. What's going on? I was selecting the keyframes as well. I didn't even do this one, for fuck's sake. Well, okay, you know what, fuck it, we'll go back to it. So, back to the speed editor. So, back to where we were before. We've done that one, we've edited one of them with those little handles. Now I'm going to edit the other one, and you just need it to kind of look the same. So I'm going to put that up to there, so it's about the same. Now the important thing is I need the right one to look the same as the left one. So let me highlight the right side layer, go in there. Okay, so now I need to do this one as well. So use this handle here, and just kind of like use this thing here. Let me have a look. There must be a way to make these the same. I don't know. Without eyeballing it. Yes, it's got a value there. Can I change that value? I'm gonna eyeball it, but I'm certain there is a way of working out how to do it better than this. Because that doesn't look the same, does it? Does it? Let's play them together now. Looks fine to me. So if it looks fine, it's fine. Basically, that's my motto. Right, so they've got that speed variation in it now. So that just comes from that easy ease and playing around with the graphs. I'll do some homework and I'll work out how to. I'll do a bit more research on how to use those speed graphs because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just eyeballing everything. There's got to be a way to make it more accurate. Right, so we've basically done it now. So yeah, all we've got to do now is export it. Now, the only problem you're going to have is you need to, for transparent backgrounds for streamer graphics, you need either QuickTime files, but they're fucking huge, or you want to use WebM format, which is, I'm sure you've heard of that if you've had any stream graphics before. That's what you'd use for maybe your alerts or something like that. Now you need to download a kind of codec, so to allow After Effects to be able to read and export them So I actually haven't got one off the top of my head. I'll just quickly Google it for you now. WebM codec. So After Effects WebM codec. Right, I just Googled it. There's a video here. I'm sure this guy will sort you out how to do it. Let me click on this website. This website looks familiar. I think this might have been what I've used before. So just watch a couple of videos on YouTube. Basically, all it is a quick download, install it, and then from then on, you'll be able to export into WebM format, which is what you need. You really need that for stream graphics because it keeps the file size low, but also gives you that transparent background. Right, so file, export, add to media encoder queue here. Let it load up. Oh, oh. Okay, let's wait a little bit. Hasn't loaded yet. Okay, here we go. Alright, so at the moment I've got waveform audio in there. No idea why that's on there. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Alright, so we drop that down, and this is the file type that you're going to be exporting to. So, as I said, you want WebM. If you haven't gotten there, it means your codec didn't install properly, or you didn't listen to me before and you didn't install a codec. So, make sure you get a WebM codec. Google it. There's some YouTube videos out there to show you, explain how to do it, because I don't know the best source. There might be one that's shit, there might be one that's good. I think they're all right though. Right, so WebM, click that. Now we've got a preset here. You don't want to just leave it, because there's one important part that we need. Click custom there, or whatever yours says. I should say custom. Let it load up. Now all this looks a little bit complicated. The main thing you need to worry about is I've got it as 4K now. You can change that if you want, but you don't need to. Basically, you can leave everything the same. Frame rate 30, that's what we had before. Quality 50% should be okay, although we have to play around with this if it ends up being too large a file, but it shouldn't be. At 2 seconds long, should be okay. Come down here, include alpha channel. Alpha channel is the transparent background. You need to click that, otherwise it will just have a black background, which would be fucking useless for you as a streamer. Right, saying 8 megabytes here. That seems quite high. Well, let's see how it comes out anyway. Right, output file. So this is literally just your name, whatever you want to save it as. So yeah, Camo. Let's call it Camo. Camo string of transition. Save. Right, I'm going to click the little play button there. It should read through everything and do it. As you can see, it's rendering through. We'll see how big it comes out. It shouldn't come out as 8 megabytes, so that's crazy. I don't think it estimates them very well. Oh shit, you know what I did? I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. Well, I don't know, it might look okay. It'll probably be okay. It'll be okay, man. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think it will be okay. I'll show you in a minute. Basically, because I've used Photoshop to render these out as images, I think it's actually worked quite well, so I might do that in the future. Usually I'll be importing the Illustrator file directly into After Effects, but that ends up being a bit more messy, and I have to do like an extra step to make it smooth out. Well, let's see how this renders out anyway. Okay, right, so let's open it up. How big is this motherfucker got? Yeah, it's fine. It's got 600 and, you know what I mean? Do you see that? It said 8 megabytes. It's come out as fucking 600 kilobytes. Adobe always does that. I don't really, it's just really annoying because you've then no idea how large it's actually going to be. Right, so that's basically done now. So that's your WebM file. That's what I will be sending to you if you bought a stream of graphics from me. I'll just be sending you that WebM file. Now, how do we install it? It's kind of hard for me to show you because I'm going to be using the program that I'll be installing it with, OBS. But I do have a couple of videos on there on my no, I haven't posted it. I'll post it on my Instagram how to install these graphics, or obviously when you buy one I'll send you a video file of how to install everything. But basically on OBS, let me kind of talk you through it. In fact, no, I can kind of show you, can't I? Yeah, I can. No, this is my OBS here now. You can kind of see it, right? For transitions, you just want to click this here, scene transition. At the moment I'm using one from something I just did last week. We want to add a new one. Click this little plus button here. Click Stinger. Camo. Camo Stinger. Okay, add. Right, browse. Just add the right file. So, Camo there. Yeah, that's the file that we just exported from After Effects. Double click that. Boom. Now the only thing you need to adjust here is the transition point. Now this is where your scenes change. So this needs to be when your Stinger is kind of covering the whole screen. So we've got a bit of a cushioning room because we use those two hold keyframes. So right in the middle should be fine, which is 1000 ms, which should be 1 second. These are 2 second transitions that we used. So right in the middle will be 1000 ms. Click OK. Now I should be using it, so I'm just going to swap this over here, and I'm just going to just change to another scene. I'll disappear for a moment. There we go. And I'm back, guys. There we go. We've got our amazing camo transition. It's cool, right? Yeah, super easy. I hope it kind of made sense as I went along. Right, so what I'm going to do now is